There's 120 days left. Today is a holiday. Most men are drinking, relaxing, and calling it balance. But it's also September 1st, the start of Q4, the last 120 days of this year. And the truth is, most of you will lose this quarter before it even begins. Before I break this down, if you're ready to seal your structure for Q4, there are sprint spots open. The link is in the description below. So listen, there are 120 days left, the last 120 days. Here are the things you must understand. The loop of holiday softness. So right now, you're probably drinking, relaxing, and calling it well-deserved. Why? Because you went through the entire year going through hard work, through a slave laborsome job that you don't desire to be in, but you continue to do it because it's a part of your loops, right? And you understand that suffering is a part of survival. Because that's literally what you're doing. You're trying to survive instead of relying on the value that you have within you. And so you sedate yourself when it comes to these holidays with softness, which is drinking, relaxing, and then you call it deserved because the life that you've been living is so hard. So you as a man, you worship comfort. And this is where the demons creep in, and demons are just negative emotions, and therefore softness disguises self-care. These are your comforts. You fill your life with the comforts that you have current because, again, you're living a life that you don't desire to be in, but you think that your reality is far away from you when realistically every decision that you make is creating the furtherance of a reality that you hate. So you have to get rid of these softness, which are the demons. And if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you understand my perspective on this. Demons are not these gargoyles that come directly at you to scare you into being the same mediocre man that you are. No, they're not the little things that crawl in the corner of the dark spots in your room. Absolutely not. They are the women with no ambition that you give sex to that continue to plague your mind in this softness. They are the drugs that you cling on to dampen the realities of life, right? And the pressures of life that you feel. They are the video games that you play constantly to pass time. They are all of the things that hold you in stagnation or in mediocrity. And holiday softness is also a part of that, which equal yearly collapse. You're not going to enter 2026 with a strong foundation if you continue to indulge in this softness. So already, not only is it the foundation of the next year, but it's also calcifying yourself with the entire year of loops that you've been in, and you claim on to them, right? And so what does that mean? Q4 is a spiritual battlefield. So here you are. You're surrounded with excuses. You're surrounded with loops. And here are the actual decisions that move you forward into the year with a firm foundation. And so your structure, as you always hear me say, is masculine. Cash flow is feminine. If you don't have a strong enough structure to hold the cash flow that you're looking to have or the abundance that you're looking to have, you're not going to have the feminine abundance at the rate in which you think you can hold it. And therefore, if you can continue with this softness and have structural collapse, abundance never comes. You're never going to get the abundance you're looking for because you fill yourself with the softness, which are all those damn comforts. Get yourself out of thinking that you can just continue doing this softness over and over and over, and it's just allowed. Your new reality, the new identity that you're looking to embody, requires a new level of understanding of the loops you're in, and that you have to break that. So you have to get rid of the structure that you know that's comfortable and move into a place where you know absolutely nothing, and then rebuild from a place of value. You have to get to know yourself in the destruction of your current structure to then build up a new one built on the true foundations of who you are so that you can enter into a place where cash flow and abundance and feminine energy are in surplus because your new foundation is not only true to you, but it holds up against all of your previous demons, so to say. Right? So that's why it's a spiritual battlefield. Because you're always going to want to deal with your excuses. And you're always going to want to deal with your loops. And these 120 days that are left are going to either show you or reveal to you who you are. Truthfully. And if you don't get a full understanding that that's what's happening, you're going to enter in 2026 and do the same bullshit you've been doing for the last decade, the last 5 years. Nothing's going to change until something changes. And that's in day-to-day execution. And so where does that lead you? It leads you to a place of having to choose your authority or not. So what is the path to authority? You have to build a structure. That is one. Once you start to build the structure, that's the discipline. And it is the exorcism, because discipline gets rid of all of the softness. It moves demons back a bit. And then what actually keeps it back is your obedience to yourself. If you understand that the new identity is what you're looking to claim, you have to be obedient to the voice in your head that you know is true. And as we've gone over in many videos, over and over and over, the life that you live is a testament to the feedback loops that you get. And so you hold on to the identity that society has given you realistically because of the feedback loops. But also, if you go back further and you understand your childhood, you know that the life that you live can be easily paired to what your parents have brainwashed you into believing. Because what your parents believe, you then pick up. You come into this world knowing nothing. Therefore, everything that you know up until this point, if not shattered already, is instilled by your parents. And then the feedback loops reinforce whatever they told you or not. And so realistically, are you operating on your own accord, or are you operating from a standpoint of everyone else's perception of you? And you never get to know who you truly are. No wonder why you continue to hold on to your excuses and this softness. Because it dampens the blow of all the pressures of life. Because you realize if you were to ever accept the fact that you are not living a life true to you, you would have to get rid of your current identity as you know it. And you toil with that. And so you stay in the gray zone. Should I be who they tell me to be? Or should I be who I know I truly am? But being who you truly are scares you, because you're going to have to get rid of your entire life in the way that you see it and build it from ground zero. And you don't want to do that because you're left vulnerable. Right? And so to build authority, you have to find the obedience, because that's what gives you armor against all of these other perceptions of you that society, your parents, your friends continue to push on to you. And so the next thing is your structure. Your structure is your temple. As you see here, this is your structure. As you continue to move forward in obedience and in discipline, structure is formed by the pressures that come on with that. Because the pressures are either going to expose you to who you are, or continue to make you hard on your boundaries and make sure that nobody comes through and disrupts the focus that you have in your mind. This winter arc, or this arc that y'all talk about in quarter 4, doesn't exist. It's a day-to-day lifestyle that never departs from you, right? Q4 is going to be your proof or not. And the real question is, are you who you say you are? Are you that person that knows who they are to the core? Can you rely on your own voice? Or are you going to continue to act out on the perceptions or the perceived versions of you that everybody around you wants to be, that society wants you to be, which is mediocre? Filled with mediocrity? Or you're going to step up to the plate, expose yourself, find your value, build a structure based upon your value in that fire so it never gets extinguished, and continue to move forward, inspiring other men to do the same throughout skill sets that you have that others will pay you for. That's realistically it. If your gift is within you, the second you get a chance to destroy the structure that is not of you, build one that is of you, and then your gift gets exposed to you because you're accepting who you truly are, then the marketplace will pay you for that gift. But you're so scared and wrapped up in softness, in these demonic sort of rituals, which is just the soft things. They're going to come to you, and it's up to you to see them, acknowledge them, and push them to the side and stay disciplined to what you know you should be doing. Simply put. And these 120 days are going to show the killers and separate the killers from the mediocre folk, the average man in society. And you're going to start 2026, and the weak men are going to claim onto their resolutions list, and the killers are just going to continue living life as they have been for the last however many years since they've been on the fucking planet, or since they revealed themselves to themselves. Simply put, this life is very easy. You're the one who's complicating it. But your closing decree. Quarter four isn't a fresh start. It's the last test of this year. Most men will drink, waste time, and collapse. The few who seal their structure will carry proof, authority, and cash flow into 2026. Choose wisely. Consider yourself warned.